Sophie, welcome to the Late Look North. Good evening, I'm Sharuna Sagar. Good to have you with me. A petition to ban Greyhound racing has passed more than 35,000 signatures. The sport has a firm foothold in the region with 3 tracks in the northeast. Supporters say it has a long, successful future ahead, but opponents argue it's resulted in the deaths of more than 1,300 dogs since 2017. This new petition will be handed to Parliament at the end of the month. Jonathan Swingler reports.
Greyhound racing is fast approaching its 100th anniversary. But what happens next for the sport?
100,000,000% has a future.
It would be lovely to get to the 100th year and that's it, call it a day.
It's always an early start at the Fenwick family's kennels in Northumberland.
It's always what I wanted to do from a young age. If you asked us what I wanted to do, I'd always be a greyhound trainer.
Greyhounds are an athlete, and our job is to look after them the best we possibly can.
Because if the dogs are on top form, then they'll run at the best performance.
It's a Friday race day, and so 11 of their dogs are off to the track in Newcastle.
She's getting checked over by the vet just to make sure she's all right to run.
The sport has its opponents. 60 miles away, Tracy runs her Greyhound rescue organisation in North Yorkshire. She argues dogs shouldn't be kept in kennels.
Even kennels that are absolutely perfect and beautiful and underfloor heating and everything else, it's still a kennel, but it's not a home.
In this country, from 2017 until 2024, over 35,000 greyhounds were injured and 1,357 died at tracks.
So I do believe that, they've got the welfare at heart of these dogs, but they're still putting them at risk every time they put them on the track.
Jimmy says it's unusual for one of his dogs to be injured or killed.
It's not something that happens weekly or daily or anything like that. It could happen, once every couple of years or things like that. It's not as if it happens all the time. It does upset you, because you have that bond with that dog.
The first modern greyhound racing track opened in this country in July 1926. Its supporters argue the sport can carry on for generations in England. Those opposed to it are adding their names to a petition calling for a ban. Jonathan Swingler, BBC Look North.
People planning to travel on the West Coast Main Line through Cumbria will face disruption and longer journey times for the next fortnight. The line will be closed while the old Clifton Rail Bridge over the M6 near Penrith is dismantled and a new steel structure put in its place. The new bridge will allow 2 trains to cross at the same time, which will improve services, but work to complete the replacement won't be finished until January the 15th. Now, tomorrow sees the final day in a year-long challenge many of us will shy away from, particularly on a day like today, because then James Madeley will have swum every day for the past year to raise cash for the charity Parkinson's UK after his mum was diagnosed with the disease. This morning, he took to the water once again, this time at Seaburn. Jim Scott went along.
Stripping off while it's barely over freezing isn't for the faint-hearted. But James has been doing this and swimming in the North Sea every day for the last year.
On days like this, obviously, it's pretty tough. This is probably as cold as it gets, really.
The Sunderland dentist set out to make a splash, raising cash for Parkinson's UK. His mum Carol was diagnosed with the disease last year.
It's tough. I think, it's much tougher for my mum. But it takes a toll on the whole family, so I wanted to do something I could do to help, and this sort of seemed the only way of doing something, really.
Carol used to be a pharmacist, but noticed changes to her health and reported it to a GP.
I didn't know much about it really until I started getting the symptoms. A little tremor in my hand, didn't think much of it. In fact, for about 4 or 5 years, the GPs didn't think it was anything much. And then I got diagnosed about a year ago. Started to lose a bit of fine walking, but just sort of getting a little bit more rigid.
Come on, James. Come on. Today, Carol's not letting anything stop her, and she's here to cheer James on.
And I went in with a pair of shorts on, just to the top of my legs, and I could barely walk for about 20 minutes afterwards, and I was only in the sea for 30 seconds. So, you know, that gives me even more respect for what he's doing, and I'm even more proud of him because, you know, the determination to get up and do that every day, it's pretty significant.
It's obviously not about making it proud, really. It's just trying to do something to help. But yeah, they've been great supporters. My whole family have been great supporting the whole time, and I couldn't have done it without them.
I would say don't be frightened of it because it's very slow progressing in most cases, and to make the most of the time you've got, well, obviously go on holiday and do nice things. Just get on with life, really.
James has suggested starting a new challenge, 365 days of the sauna. Jim Scott, BBC Look North, Sunderland.
I'm getting hypothermia just watching him, and it's only going to get colder tomorrow. Here's Paul Mooney with the forecast.
Good evening. The cold weather set to stay with us. We'll start with a yellow warning from the Met Office for snow and ice, basically for areas east of the A1 for tonight and tomorrow. That's where the snow showers will be most likely. Most places stay dry and clear through the night with the widespread frost, but so is eastern parts. It might just catch a few snow showers putting down a covering in places. Temperatures widely down to -2, -3 Celsius. One or two spots could be a good few degrees colder than that, especially inland, sheltered from that gusty northwesterly wind. We keep that wind tomorrow. It keeps feeding showers down that eastern strip. Most other places dry and bright. It's going to be another cold day though after that frosty start. Temperatures will only make about 3 Celsius at best. Rough seas with those strong winds as well. And it stays cold through the rest of the weekend.
And that's all we have time for tonight. Thank you for staying up and tuning in. We'll have more updates during breakfast news in the morning. But for now, good night, sweet dreams, and do stay warm.